Senator Roberts.
Thank you, President. My question is to the Minister representing the Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs, Senator Watt. Does the government control the level of immigration into Australia?
Thank you, Senator Roberts. Minister Watt.
Thank you, Senator Roberts. I note your interest all week in these matters of migration, and the short answer is that under governments of all persuasions, including those who are having a little chuckle over there at the moment, under governments of both persuasions, the immigration program in Australia is demand-driven. So that has been the case under this government and the former government as well.
Minister Watt, please resume your seat. Senator Roberts.
Point of order, President, because it was a very simple, short question, needs a yes or no answer. That's it.
The minister is being relevant, Senator Roberts. I'll presume you've finished your answer, Minister Watt.
So, as I say, yeah, it's actually quite normal for ministers who represent others to look at their notes. Senator Canavan, we can't all be the genius that you are. You are a genius. I pay that, especially when you get into your dark web and your bunker and you dig out all those statistics. You're an absolute genius at that.
Minister Watt,
but we can't all be.
Minister Watt, resume your seat. Order. Order. Order across the chamber, but particularly on my left. Senator Ayres, you have a lot to say this afternoon. This is question time. Minister Watt, I'm asking you to refer your comments to me and not to particular senators. Please continue.
I know Senator Rennick was a bit offended by the fact that I singled out Senator Canavan as the only genius on the opposition and the only person who could get into the bunker and find statistics, because we know Senator Rennick's pretty good at that as well.
Just a moment, Senator Hughes. I haven't called you, and I haven't called you because the chamber was still disorderly. Senator Hughes.
President, you made very clear this week, and we've heard from those opposite of their deep offence. I'd like Minister Watt to withdraw a whole raft of his commentary and reflections on a number of senators over here, and his continual snarky, personal smears and vilifications.
Senator Hughes, if you want to raise a point of order about unparliamentary or personal language related to a senator, I need their name, at least. Senator Hughes, don't backchat once you're sitting down. You indicated that the minister had had a spray against a range of senators. I have no idea who that was. I'm not going to make it up or guess it. So unless you have some... Senator Hughes, it's not... You've raised the point of order. You haven't named a particular senator. You've indicated to me who, in your view, has made the offence, but you haven't said about which senator. Senator Hughes, resume your seat. Minister Wong.
Thank you. I think the difficulty through you, President, is it was a generalised proposition that the Senator was making. If there is a request to withdraw particular language that has just been said, right? Then you know, if that is the request, I'm sure that the minister. Oh, okay. I'm just saying that if a generalised proposition is a difficult one to respond to, if there is a request to, I'm trying to assist here. I'm really.
Senator Birmingham. I'm sorry. I thought you had finished, Senator Wong.
Thank you. I was just waiting. The proposition.
Did you wish to continue?
Thank you. There is a generalised complaint about Senator Watt saying things about a number of people. If the request is, I don't know what those are, but if the request is that—
Order.
If the request is that Senator Watt withdraw particular language that's just been used. I'm sorry?
Senator Scarr, no interjections.
All I'm saying is there's a request to recall. Wow.
Senator Hughes.
I'm really trying. If there is a request to withdraw particular language now, I would ask the President to call the Minister.
Senator Birmingham.
Thank you, President. President, I did just want to pick up on one part of your ruling there, which was to suggest it was necessary for the senator to name a particular senator who had been impugned. Odgers does make it clear that it is possible for groups of senators to be impugned or to have improper motives attributed to them by a senator, and that is also against standing orders.
That's correct.
It also, President, as you're well aware, it's not necessary always for a senator to make a point of order, and in the spirit of this week it would be helpful for strong proactive intervention if senators cannot restrain themselves to actually ask them immediately to withdraw. Preferably, they would restrain themselves, Senator Watt.
Just a moment. I haven't called you Senator Watt. I am going to respond to those points of order. I am not in the chamber all the time. That's the point that I made in the statement to the chamber yesterday. It is very difficult for me to ask a senator to withdraw when I don't know where that language has landed. I take your point, Senator Birmingham, that a slur can be made against a group of senators. That's not what Senator Hughes was implying. She indicated that my understanding of what was indicated was that the minister had made, in Senator Hughes's view, a number of comments to senators throughout the week, not to a group of senators. However, I know that Senator Watt is always willing to own his behaviour, and I will, as Senator Watt, for the benefit of those interjections, a number of you are always willing, on both sides of the chamber, to withdraw. Some of you are not, but most of you are. So I am going to invite Senator Watt, if he thinks he has offended senators this week, to make a general withdrawal without making any comment to comments that you may or may not have uttered.
I make a general withdrawal.
Thank you.
I should continue. So thank you. So, Senator Roberts, the government does have a range of controls in place around the numbers of migrants coming into Australia, the categories of those migrants, whether they be international students or tourists, humanitarians, skilled workers. So the government does have a range of controls around the numbers and types of migrants who come into Australia. I think I know where you're going with this, Senator Roberts, because you have followed these issues all week. And I point out that we haven't really seen a lot of consistency from the opposition on matters of migration either, because what we do know is that, for instance, the now immigration spokesperson, the member for Wannon, when he was in government, he was saying things like, well, we need to get our international students back, we need to get our working holiday visa visa holders back.
Please resume your seat. Senator Roberts.
Point of order. That's not relevant to what I asked.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll bring you back to the question. Minister Watt, you've finished. Senator Roberts, first supplementary.
Thank you. On the 15th of May, Treasurer Jim Chalmers told Australia that the level of net overseas migration is, quote, not something the government determines. Minister, is that a lie, given your government issues the visas and decides who comes to this country? Why are you letting immigration spiral out of control while hundreds of thousands of Australians are homeless?
Senator Roberts, I am going to ask you to rephrase that question.
Minister, is that misinformation, given your government issues the visas and decides who comes to this country? Why are you letting immigration spiral out of control while hundreds of thousands of Australians are homeless?
Thank you very much, Senator Roberts. Minister Watt.
Thank you, President. Well, no, I reject the suggestion that the Treasurer has misrepresented the facts on this issue. It is a really important issue that Australia is dealing with at the moment. But, Senator Roberts, in answer to similar questions from you over the course of the week, I've pointed out a number of steps the government has taken to fix the fundamentally broken migration system that we inherited from the opposition, and in particular from the now Leader of the Opposition, Mr Dutton, who of course oversaw the migration system as the Minister for Home Affairs for a number of years. We've already scaled back the pandemic event visa. We're taking action about the working hours for international students, which has been a real draw card for international students coming to Australia. We've made all sorts of improvements to Home Affairs in terms of its processing of visa applications. And of course, when it comes to housing, as I pointed out to you already, Senator Roberts, you and your colleagues had an opportunity to vote for more housing. You chose to vote against it.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Roberts, second supplementary.
Thank you. How many net overseas immigrants will arrive in Australia this financial year?
Thank you, Senator Roberts. Minister.
Well, Senator Roberts, again, I know that we've addressed this issue in previous answers, both in this chamber and in estimates, and the issues around the numbers of net overseas migrants is actually a matter that's handled by the Treasury. But I've already acknowledged in previous answers on these questions that post-COVID, when we had a couple of years of pretty much zero migration to Australia, it was always inevitable that there was going to be an increase in that migration as we had tourists coming back, as we had working holiday visa makers coming back, as we had skilled migrants coming back into the country. And that is exactly one of the reasons why our government is trying to fix the broken migration system that we inherited and trying to build more homes despite your opposition and that of the coalition.
Minister Watt. Senator Roberts.
Point of order. I asked the question, how many net immigration this year?
I think the Minister explained it. It is a question that should be directed to Treasury, and the Minister is answering it in his capacity. I'll ask him if he's concluded. You've finished? Thank you.